Tell you this is weird, totally weird. Let's have a look at the Taurus stuff over here, and sorry, Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. I'm trying to find some harmony somewhere. I guess I could put I don't know, it's a bit of a stretch. Taurus, Libra, no, nothing. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Very weird. Oh gosh, what are we gonna do? Alarm bells? I don't know. This is my astro doodle for the day. God. I have to say, this has got to be one of the weirdest charts I've ever had to draw. Okay, I got to check in. I see a few folks have arrived. I already know Fluffles is here. Yeah, we got you. You're booked. Yep, I got a soda pop. I got a little bit of a Coca-Cola going. Thank you. Hello, Diana. Hello, Elizabeth. Good evening. Elizabeth, I see your computer is totally gefuckten. 3 persons tried to break in at 3 a.m. in your apartment. Oh my God. Oh my God. Last night. Oh my God. Thank you. I would like to frame it. I better put the date on here because this is historic, folks. TarotLumination. Okay, it is the 7th April 2024. And of course, as you can imagine, tomorrow it's going to be even more bizarre. I mean, look at this. Honestly, if I didn't put any color on the chart, it would look like this. I would have little... This is really all it is in terms of a regular aspect. You see, the thing is, with all of this orange stuff, all this red stuff, basically the orange is indicating this very, very powerful, significant conjunction with Mars and Saturn over here. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you dizzy by shaking the chart so much. But over here, let me just, before we get into it all, look at this. It's an absolute train wreck, pileup over here in Aries. It's like going on a 6-lane highway and the whole thing is blocked. Let's see, we got Venus, Moon, North Node, Sun, Chiron, and Mercury all lined up here in a procession, and some of them are very, very tightly conjoined. It's hard to mark them on here because it would just mess it up. You couldn't see it, but Moon and Venus are very tight right now. Sun and North Node, and Mercury, Chiron, and everything. It's all, oh God. So people have been asking me, hey TL, what the heck is going on? What's all the big blah, blah, blah about this eclipse? Oh my God. So anyway, I've done a little bit of homework, and frankly, it's just another day in the heavens, you know. I know we've done lots of talk about, you know, the eclipses and the evolutionary gateways. Sometimes they make whole playlists for the eclipse for every sign. Right now, I don't have enough time in the day and the physical capacity, time, and all of that to be able to do that stuff right now. Otherwise, I would, because I think it's very important. But I can share some generic notes. Actually, let me just check in and say hi before we get really distracted here. All right. Okie dokie. So here we are. Good evening. This is TarotLumination. I'm over here in Las Vegas. It's very strange in this town, I have to tell you. I've never lived a life like this. To me, it's very bizarre. And something weird happens every day. I'm not going to go into it in detail, but that's how it is here. The whole city is, frankly, it's an artifice. The whole thing is, it's a very Neptunian environment here. Because there's an expression, I learned it from Love Triber, there's an expression that Las Vegas is built on losers. Okay? Las Vegas, the city, grew because of all the gambling money that floods into Las Vegas 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And that money goes into the city coffers and into the big corporations and the hotel owners and so on. And then that dissipates and recycles through the economy. And so in Las Vegas, there's a very tiny central core called the Strip. It's very, very famous. It has millions of visitors every year. It's one of the biggest destinations in the world for people from all over the world. If you've got the time and the money to do really silly stuff like gamble all your money away. So anyway, yeah, more money comes in to the city and to the corporations and the hotels than it goes out to the gambling winners. Of course, when there are big winners, it's a very big deal here. It's a very, very big deal. It's advertising everywhere. But in effect, the banks and the hotels make this much, and the winners make this much, and the losers are pumping all this money in. You know, that's how it is. It's just very strange. I live in my own bubble here. I live in a completely insulated bubble. I observe, I've learned how to enjoy a few things. There's something very extremely American about this city that I do like. I like trucks. There's lots of trucks. The traffic is very steady and pretty gentle. It's a very gentle kind of environment compared to what I'm used to from Los Angeles. The roads are very big and wide. They're, I would say, poor to poorly maintained. But and it's enough. People drive around. Everything either goes north and south or east and west. And there's a sort of a big highway system in the middle like that. That's it. Anyway, I was pondering. I was basically hiding from Las Vegas. I go to my little McDonald's. I go to about 4 or 5 different McDonald's, but this one is my favorite. And I sit there and I kind of go like this. I wonder what the day is looking like now. And then I scroll through all the world news and all the shock and the horror and all the sweet stuff and beautiful stories about animals and things like that. There's also lots of tragedy about animals, but I try to cheer myself up so I don't get too sucked into a mind warp. And I thought, okay, well, what am I feeling personally? I'm feeling very, very dreamy. That's probably because of all the Pisces stuff going on. Yeah. Venus was in Pisces. It's now in Aries. Okay. But we still got Mars conjoined Saturn in Pisces. And we've got Neptune very, very, very strong in Pisces right now. So the whole Pisces-Neptune theme is very, very strong. On the healthy expression, we're talking about psychic excellence, the ability to connect with the great beyond, a sense of being in tune with nature and the universe, and having this overwhelming like flood of energy go through you that tells you that you truly are one with the universe. You are the universe and you are all one thing. We've got our solar system, we've got our galaxy, we've got our galaxies around us in an infinite universe. And I keep looking, I look for reports everywhere. But up to this moment in time, I have not found anything that even closely resembles planet Earth, our little home here, and the weird things that go on here, like animals, people. Doesn't exist anywhere else, not in our frequencies of observation. If there are aliens, they're operating at higher frequencies that we can't really see. That's how I feel. Of course, aliens are famous here in Las Vegas. They have alien museums. They have, alien tours and things like that. And people love it. Great, fine. I think I told you a while ago I saw a movie about aliens, and it was called... What was it called? Anyway, it was a Wes Anderson, very, very spacey, artsy movie, very Piscean, okay? Oh, you donated, Diana. Thank you very much. Thank you. And so anyway, back to the coffee shop. I was pondering and pondering. I watched some of my favorite folks from the alternative media. I checked in with mainstream media. Yeah, mainstream media is doing what it does. It's just basically propaganda for the communists. And that's about it. And things like sports and games and all the silly, goofy stuff. And of course, I picked up a few notes and themes about the eclipse. Oh my God, the eclipse is coming. The eclipse is coming. Oh. So I thought, okay, since it's obvious that I'm not going to do a huge spiel about the eclipse, I'm not going to do 12 videos, I'm not going to do big like 5-hour live streams, I'm not going to go outside and film it. I don't think you can see it from Las Vegas anyway. Weather reports are indicating in advance that there's going to be probably a lot of cloud cover across the path of the eclipse. There you go. Doesn't matter how good your glasses are. If there's clouds in the way, you can't see the eclipse. So there you go. Of course, the geomagnetic influences are still there, still very profound. But you won't have the big drama. Okay? So, again, I kept thinking, okay, what is so weird? First of all, it's weird. Let's just go back here for a moment, and I'll show you how weird is weird. Diana? Esther, I concur. A big, fat disappointment. I think the mainstream media is hyping it all up because they're trying to distract the people from some very disturbing stuff that's going on across the world. Again, the Neptune themes are very powerful right now. Very disturbing, scary stuff. Cheers. So, This is live and active right now. Of course, Pluto's here in Aquarius. Thank you very much. At the very, very opening moments of our 20-year journey that I hope we're going to document together. All of this will change in the meantime, but this is going to be here for a long time. So, Saturn and Mars in Pisces. Mars in Pisces is kind of unhappy. Mars likes to be active. It thrives in the fire signs and the air signs. Mars in Pisces is more about how am I going to do what I have to do when I am being distracted by dreams and thoughts and concepts and feelings and thoughts that are actually very distracting towards my mission to get on with life and do what I have to do. Saturn in Pisces is putting a lot of pressure on the reality check for people across the world, like what is real in your life and what is fake, because you're going to find out. Everything that you trusted and thought was real, where you entrusted huge amounts of your time and energy and lifeblood resources in other people, other institutions, other relationships, especially with other people's money, and you start to get disappointed, then, well, told you so. With Neptune over here, the theme of treachery, lies, betrayal, deception, blackmail, theft, corruption is extreme across the world right now. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But anyway, over to here. This is the big story, all the Aries stuff. So this is happening right now. The moon is already in Aries. And by, let's see, what time tomorrow? Well, it's going to be basically about mid-afternoon. So, right in the middle here. The moon's going to be right here about 20 degrees, okay? So we've got from now until tomorrow afternoon. The moon is going to go from, here to here. So we're still going to have Venus, Moon, North Node, Sun, Chiron, and Mercury all piled up here in Aries. Of course, Aries is go, go, go. I want to live my life, do my thing. I want to be me. I have the right to be me. I have the duty. I have the responsibility to be me and do what's best for me and what is right and correct and good and courageous. Of course, that can get very distorted, but in a healthy expression, that's exactly what I just described. The North Node, as we've said, is directing people to really take charge of your sovereign self and reject and eject anything that's fake, phony, and redundant regarding relationships. Okay? Chiron, of course, here is basically saying, I told you so. The global pain and suffering of the individual is astronomical. We've got 8 billion people on planet Earth, and about 7.5 billion are in a lot of discomfort. And I would say tragic discomfort as they're realizing, my God, I've been screwed. I have been royally screwed by other people who think they are above me. Above me. They think they are gods and they can rule me. And then I curse myself for realizing, oh my God, I let that happen. I'm the idiot. I'm so stupid. I let those self-appointed gods screw me up. That is painful, especially when you realize you're the author of your own demise. But imagine that on a global scale. 7 billion people at least. Mercury's there in Aries. It's retrograde right now, so that doesn't help. So anyway, look at this. Look like this. If you think of, actually, you know what? I'm going to do a whole separate, I don't know how to illustrate this, but I'm just going to try to describe to you what I'm feeling. I guess it's like a 6 lean. I don't know. Wait a minute. I don't think I can do it. No, I forget it. I don't have the artistic ability draw what I'm feeling and sensing in my head. So I'm going to try and do it with this and going back to the live with me. So, let's say, okay, let's say we got an Aries new moon. Okay, great. Aries new moon. New starts and new beginnings for the Aries crowd. Wherever that point, 20 degrees Aries, lies in your personal chart, that's where the issue of new starts and new beginnings with Aries will be affecting you personally. So, of course, this could be anywhere. It's there somewhere. If you're an Aries type, then it's going to be around here. If you are, let's say, I'm just going to do random examples. If you are, let's say, if you're a Capricorn, then it's going to be in your 4th house of home and family. If you're a Libra, it's going to be in your 7th house of marriage and very important business relationships and open enemies. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. If you are very Cancerian, it's going to be up in your 10th house of destiny. Ooh, ooh. Anyway, new starts and new beginnings. And it's an eclipse. So it's an evolutionary gateway. There's a lot of things that could happen at the very deep spiritual level that you can't anticipate right now, except knowing that you're going to live your life, chugga, 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 chugga. Enter the evolutionary elevator, which is a double-sided, double-doored elevator. You come in this side, you shoot up through the eclipse, and pop, you come out the other side, and there's no going back. You go in, evolve, out. Got it? In, evolve, out. This evolve section is sometimes very painful for people. A lot of people don't want to evolve. Evolve means you have to change. And a lot of people are terrified of change. They want all the good things to stay good, and they just want the bad things to disappear or hope they disappear. A lot of people, it's a very Uranus thing. A lot of people are terrified of the unknown. So when we enter these eclipses, it can be scary because we are jolted into a new chapter of the unknown before we get ejected onto the rest of our journey. So, all right, so imagine that. Okay, so I'm going to tip this sideways, right? I'm going to try and illustrate it like this. All right, so you see that? You see that red blur here? Imagine that whole red blur section is a big, interstate. It's a really big Los Angeles type interstate with 6 lanes, okay, in one direction. And the interstate is full. It's full with Venus, Moon, North Node, Sun, Chiron, and Mercury. Mercury's struggling because it's on the outside. It's stuck in the emergency lane, but everything else is flooding forwards. And what's weird is because Aries, you would normally imagine, well, come on, let's get on with life. Let's go, 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 baby. Now, remember, we've just come out at the very, very end of a lunar cycle. So 28 days ago, the moon was there. So 28 days later, which is today, the moon is all the way back here again. But in that cycle, in that lunar cycle, we have the ups and downs of energy, like a tide. That cycle goes like this, okay? New moon, full moon, new moon, full moon, new moon, full moon, new moon. The thing is, new moon, full moon, new moon. When we go from this section here to this section here, okay? That's one lunar cycle, and that's 28 days. Okay, roughly, okay? And then just repeat, repeat, repeat to infinity, okay? Now, typically what happens, because the moon has a very powerful effect, gravitational, magnetic effect on our body and our emotional state. That's why the moon is so correlated with emotions, because it's what we feel. And typically what often happens is, as we reach a full moon, energy culminates and people are sort of out there. And then the manifestation of what just built up comes to fruition here. And in the last 3 days or so, the energy is very mellow. So it's just like a tide. The tide comes up, whoa! Tide goes down and it goes very, very mellow. And then the tide just sits there for a little while, very, very quiet. And then the tide starts to pick up again to full moon. And so on. So we just lived through the last 2 or 3 days here, and we're right at this point now, heading into the new moon eclipse. So for the last day and a half, I've been tracking myself personally as though I am a weather vane or a barometer myself. What I've noticed is that things went very, very mellow for me. Even though it's, full steam ahead with all this Aries energy. And it's simply because of the end of the lunar cycle. And so you would think, oh, thank God, new starts and new beginnings. It's going to be very exciting because the moon is going to conjoin Aries, and then we're going to start off on another 28-day cycle, and we're going to be lifted up with all that brand new Aries energy. Right? Right? You see where I'm going with this? Can you see where we're heading? But, okay, here's where my theory comes in. But, it's an eclipse. So what happens in an eclipse? Something is eclipsed out of the picture. Okay, keep thinking, follow me here. Let's see, how am I going to do this? All right, so there would be, let's say there is the landing place of the eclipse. That's Jeffrey. Hi, Jeffrey. Let's say that's the landing place of the eclipse, okay? So in theory, oh my gosh, that place is exact. Look at that. Wow. And of course that mark, this part stays here, but the Earth spins, all right? The Earth is spinning, and so it appears to us that the eclipse is moving across the surface of the Earth, just like we showed on the chart. But this is what always spooks people about eclipses, and why ancient mythology puts so much like myth around the energy of the eclipse. It's because it's a little bit scary, because it blacks out, it eclipses, and in this case on a solar eclipse, the new moon eclipse, the moon effectively blacks out the sun. So we've got the sun over here with all the other Aries things all piling on the Aries energy, except that it's being blocked out. You see what I'm getting at here? My feeling is that there is a great expectation that has been placed in front of us regarding this eclipse. Oh, it's a really, really big deal. But like Esther said, I think there's going to be a huge disappointment here. Number one, the Pisces energy is very close by and it's very strong. Wherever you find Neptune in the chart, you will find great disappointment. So, that's happening at the same time. So in other words, it's like with the eclipse, with the moon eclipsing the sun. Of course, it isn't going to affect the whole of Earth. It especially affects the little path where it's going to go. But for the whole Earth, the message of the eclipse is that the Aries power is basically it's diminished. It's like let me go back to the illustration again. It's like everything, there is huge anticipation here on the big fat red highway. Everyone's piling forward. And then the moon comes here and eclipses. And then everything kind of gets stuck. Oh, like let's get into the mythology. Pretend you're actually in the line of the eclipse. Imagine, tens of thousands of years ago or something, and you're some sort of native indigenous person, and you live here, somewhere around here, in your tent, in your hut, in whichever, and then the eclipse jumps right on top of you, and you already had a consultation with TarotLumination, so you kind of have an idea what's going on, but it's still not enough. And so there you are, you're living your life, planning to do all these cool new things with all the new Aries, new moon vibes, and then suddenly the eclipse arrives and it just rips the energy out of it, like, oh. So how do I condense that into just a couple of words? My personal feeling is that the traditional surge, jolt, charge that comes with an Aries new moon, Aries, getting out there, fighting for life, fighting to do what has to be done, fighting for what is right and courageous and being a leader. All that stuff is kind of fogged out and blind. It's just like, it's almost like the Aries energy doesn't know what to do or where to go. And then that gets compounded by all the other Aries energies that are affected secondarily. And what you end up with is like a big sort of, imagine you are a race car. And you're on the starting line and you're all ready to go. You're ready to go and you're waiting for the flag to drop so you can start. And you're going, vroom, 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 vroom. And then the flag drops and it goes, and you start screaming your tires. And the car kind of stalls out. The tires are spinning. You've got no traction and nothing's moving. And guess what? Everyone else is in the same situation next to you. Like, man, what's going on? What's going on? So it's a big, like Esther said, in a couple of words, it's probably some kind of big disappointment. Like the traditional, let me go back to the doodles again. Okay, so the natural, let's say there was no eclipse. Let's just say it was an Aries new moon. With an Aries new moon, you would expect a nice surge of energy to build up. And in 2 weeks later, you would have a full moon over here somewhere. And then everything will culminate. It would be big and exciting. You'd see the results of all your wonderful energy. And understand it more. And then you can manifest it over here. But that's basically being diffused. It's like you can't get any traction. There's no guidance. There's no direction because it's obscured. The energy is eclipsed, and all the power that would normally flow forward is effectively impaired. So I probably made you more confused than enlightened. In a nutshell, I think this eclipse is going to diffuse and diminish a lot of the natural energy that would come with a powerful, heavily amplified Aries new moon with all those extra planets. Even with all those extra planets, when you've got this eclipse, it's just like, without the sun, what can you do? Have you ever done that? Well, I've done it because I used to like to race and drive very fast. And you're trying to accelerate from a red light very, very quickly. And then the car stalls out. Oops. Duh. Because you didn't know how to operate all the pedals and, the whatever, the gears. So anyway, so that's kind of what I wanted to share. Okay, I hope you can understand the illustration here. There's the sun, okay? There's the moon, and it just so happens that we've got this sacred geometry. You can't really see it here too well, but the moon effectively blacks out the sun for that part of the earth. And while the earth is rotating, that little dot appears to move across the surface of the earth. Exactly the way they show it on all the mainstream media maps. It's basically a journey that kind of goes like this. So that's where the actual shadow of the new moon eclipse is going to be. Woohoo! Yeah, Esther, you might as well just have a party. Just make the best of it. And please don't expect too much out of it. That's kind of what I'm sensing is please don't make huge plans or set up big expectations around this Aries new moon eclipse thing. Again, like Esther said, I think there's going to be a lot of disappointment. There's probably going to be a lot of cloud cover over this area if you look at the weather reports. So there you go. What do? Well, you just live through it. And you allow the energy to fulfill. You allow the planets to move on and rearrange themselves. And the energy field will change. I guess what I could do here, one last little tiny part of the doodle. All right, so forget all this big multicolored stuff here with the orange and the red. Without all that stuff, the chart would look like this. This would be my astrodoodle for the day. Just one green trine, okay, between the Aquarius and the Aries, Venus, okay, Pluto in Aquarius and Venus in Aries. That's a sextile. Actually, that's a very sweet sextile. But everything else is either on its own or it's a conjunction. And conjunctions are when the planets are sitting on top of each other or in a row. Okay? So this is what the astrodoodle would look like. I mean, that's got to be one of the weirdest. Can you imagine being born? Can you imagine having this as your natal birth chart if you were born like tomorrow? Imagine, I mean, I don't know. I'm just imagining like 30 years from now, and I'm a very, very old or dead person, and somebody says, hey, TarotLumination, can you give me a reading, please? Here's my birth data. And I see this chart, and I go, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? So there you go. Yeah. Wait a minute. I gotta go and look over it here at the. Give me a second, folks. I need to check in the chat. Jeffrey just arrived a little bit ago. I want to see what's going on. There's been a lot of chat that I missed. Okay, there's Fluffle's notes for her reading. I see that. Hold on. Everything's getting screwed up here. No, I'm screwing up. No, I want to have a look over here. Okay. There's Diana. Hi, Diana. Got you. There's Fluffles. Got you. And Elizabeth, I'm sorry about the break-in. That's really frightening. I had a robbery over here, Elizabeth, so I know what it's like. It's terrifying. Hello, Necessary Truth. Good evening. Thank you for hanging out. Fluffles, you donated. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I should. Somebody told me I should keep all my astrodoodles, but they just pile up, and I end up just tearing them up and putting them in the trash. I know, they should be in an art gallery. I know. I understand, Esther. These are magnificent works of art, and they should be understood accordingly. They should go in a gallery. Oh, Elizabeth donated as well. Oh, whoops. Okay, sorry. I didn't see why you have to watch the chat. All right, let's have a look here. Give me a second. So Elizabeth donated. Elizabeth Boucher over there. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, and oh, right next to that it says Diana donated. Diana donated. Diana Lynn, got it. Thank you, Diana. Goodness. Okie dokie. Diana says yes. Esther says yes. It's going to be a big disappointment. I kind of agree. And the all right, so make sure I got that. And there's one for Elizabeth, one for Fluffles. Fluffles wants to be number 2, and Diana over there. Okay, that's probably all I can do tonight. All right, folks. And let me keep going. I gotta catch up with the chat. Let me make sure I'm kind of in sequence with everybody. Survive that. Diana thinks she survived that freeway. Well done. Hello, Jeffrey. I see you. Oh, the licensing tests for Jeffrey. Yeah, on your business world. Okay, on May 1st. Oh, my God. We got to wish Jeffrey the best. He's been doing a lot of studying lately. Strings and things. Hey, TL. Hey, strings and things. Could you please type in there, tell us a little bit more about yourself? I can't remember you hanging out here that often. I don't store anything. I don't keep people's files or anything like that. I keep charts for reference if I do readings, but I don't keep anything else. So please illuminate me. Necessary truth. Thank you. Oh, wait. You're going to be going to Laredo? Oh, Laredo, Texas, right. Studying for the customs broker test. Got it. Okay. And you feel much better about passing this time. Excellent, Jeffrey. Okay, cool. I'm still going to... Okay, you were born on a lunar eclipse. Oh, my God. And an astrologer told me the sun, moon, and Venus were aligned as well. Woo! Really? Okay, well, that is intriguing for me. I have to tell you, strings and things. Elizabeth donated, got that. Diana donated, Fluffles donated. I'm still scrolling through chats, okay. I have one of your posters, TL, that you drew. Oh, okay. I kept it under very special conditions. It will be in an art gallery one day. Yay! All right. It's your 3-card spread with all your interpretations. It's a very special piece of art. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Soon there's going to be a TarotLumination art gallery. Actually, that reminds me. Let me just show you something. Because it's been many years. It's been years. Literally, it's 2018, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, and now it's been 6 years since the channel was destroyed on the YouTube Google algorithm. And we've just been surviving off fumes ever since then. But if you are interested, you can go to TarotLumination.com. You can look at all the top level there where it says meetings, donations, readings, subscribe, membership, connect, and more. Okay? Now, if you go under, I think it's the more section. Let me think here. How am I going to do this? How can I... Give me a second, folks. Stay right there. Don't go away. I got to do some homework. I want to see if I can find a way. No, I can't do it. All right, I'm just going to have to tell you about what I want you to know. All right. I'm going to make a doodle. Watch this. Okay, in case people are interested, I forgot that I used to do, I'm kind of an artist and a musician by nature. I don't, doing astrology and tarot is part of who I am and what I do, but deep in my heart, I'm an artist, writer, musician. You were a regular view as Topaz Zen. Oh, I remember that name, Topaz Zen. Yes, I do. Thank you. Thanks for the reminder. Sorry, necessary. I don't. I did a lot of crazy things before 2019. I did a lot of crazy stuff. Thank you, Diana. Anyway, let me point out something in case people are interested. Okay, there's the TarotLumination. There's the TarotLumination website, okay? And you've got members here, readings, donate, schedule, connect. And over here, at this point, okay, this is the TarotLumination website, okay? TarotLumination.com. Over here, if you go to that link, you click that one, and it comes down with a secondary menu. And the secondary menu looks kind of like this. It has blah, 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 blah. And one of these links here goes to something called TL Shop at Zazzle. Okay, I think it's one of these here. So I just wanted to point this out. And if anyone is really bored, they don't have anything else to do one day, I invite you to go to this button on the front page, find the secondary menu, scroll down till you find the TL Shop at Zazzle, and then you will be dazzled. You will be dazzled by the Zazzled at the shop. And you can explore and roam around. I used to sell things off the shop years ago. The shop is still there. You can buy TarotLumination leggings for girls. You can buy a TarotLumination clock. You can buy TarotLumination art pieces. You can put them on a coffee mug if you want. You can buy TarotLumination jewelry. Ho, ho, ho! Yep. You knew me as Nikki Topaz. Whoa. Okay. Hi there, Nikki Topaz. That's a cool name. Anyway. There you go. So. Like I said, what happened ever since I guess last night, what I realized, my end of my lunar cycle, I have to watch lunar cycles very carefully because I'm very, very susceptible to that wave. And I don't fight it. Because I used to be hyperactive, and when the end of a lunar cycle would happen, I would get very, very depressed. And it took me many, many years to realize it's perfectly natural. Just accept the flow. Go with the flow. It's like surfing. The wave comes in, it goes up, and it crashes and goes down and recedes. It's like the tides. The tides come in, they peak, and then they recede. I'm emotionally susceptible. So there you go. All right, I have one little story to tell you, and then I'm going to start the readings, because I have to keep some energy for the readings. We got 3 readings to do tonight. No more readings after that. I'd love to do 5 to 7 and all of that, but I can't do it right now, okay? So anyway, I got this story. I'll try and keep it short and sweet. Back in the 90s, I used to be hyper psychic. I almost had to put myself in a hospital because I was getting overwhelmed with psychic phenomenon, and I didn't know how to handle it as well. But anyway, something like that. Every now and again I get the same stuff coming through. And the night before last, I had a very vivid, powerful dream. And I thought, wow, that was a real star-studded Technicolor IMAX dream. And so I wrote it down, and it was about my sister and her family and her daughter arriving at a festival and a ceremony to celebrate sailors in Scotland and Ireland for their outstanding skills and abilities, and it needs to be recognized in England, Scotland, and Ireland, and Wales. And so I was invited to the ceremony. I got there and I connected with my family, my niece and nephews and everything like that. I settled in with the crowd, waiting for the ceremony to unfold and the presentations to unfold. And I already knew in my dream that my niece, Stella, was going to be on the stage to pick up her award. It was a beautiful dream, and I was settling down. It was like a hippie festival at the award ceremony, and Donald Trump was there, and he said hello to me. He said, "I really like some of your songs. We should connect sometime." And then he went away. And Boo Boo the cat was there with me. Anyway, so I was hanging out with my family, and Stella was there. She was blushing and excited because I have a feeling she knew that she was a contender for the award. Anyway, I was relaxing, sipping on champagne that was being served by servers with black tie. And that was the end of the dream. I woke up. I thought, wow, that was epic. And then I went out, had my coffee, and then I thought, no, I have to write this down. So I wrote it all down in a very long, elaborate letter, sent it off to my sister. Okay? So far, strings and things. So guess what happened? Guess what happened? I was having my coffee this morning, and an email came in from my sister. And my sister wrote in a short letter, she said, "Wow, your dream isn't just funny, it's amazing." Why? It's because my daughter, Stella, her daughter, Stella, has been nominated for the something or other Scottish, Ireland, British Sailing Adventure Outstanding Performance Award. And it's very likely that she's going to win. And the ceremony is coming up in the very near future. And Stella just found out about it after the dream that I had. So what does that tell you? In the great beyond, outside our little three-dimensional world here on Earth where we're fussing about eclipses, there is a multi-dimensional experience. And we're part of that. I sort of take it for granted these days, but in fact, it's an amazing thing that we are spiritual beings. We have a three-dimensional life, but we have layers of energy that we can't see directly. We have the pineal gland in here, which is what detects things like feelings or intuition or the aura or psychic phenomenon, speaking with the dead, getting messages from dead animals, sensing the future. Because outside of our three-dimensional realm, time is much more flexible, as you know. And so my sister sent me a very powerful validation that my dream was basically foreseeing the future. Very, very precise description of the future. So anyway, there you go. You're not crazy for being here. The reason you folks are here is because you're on those frequencies just like me. You wouldn't be here otherwise. Anyway, let's get on with it. We got a lot of work to do, folks. Let's get over here. I got to start shuffling. Right, I'm going to put all this stuff aside for a moment. By the way, no more readings tonight. Okay, we're all booked up. We've got Elizabeth and Fluffles and Diana. All right. That's my note on the ephemeris for the new moon eclipse. That's it. Okay, let's put all this away. We have to make room. And then we can get on with the show. All right, let's put this stuff over the storage area. So, there you go. There you go, folks. TL Shop at Zazzle. Go to the more section. All right, there we go. So I'm going to shuffle this all over here for now. Clear it out. Make room. We can come back as needed, but right now we have to dig in. Oh, by the way, Esther, have you noticed that I have not saturated tonight's video with huge amounts of scary doom and gloom? I'm doing that as a favor to everybody so I don't scare people. Sometimes I get worried that I scare people, because some of the things that I'm sensing are absolutely terrifying. Okay? Yes, necessary. I think it really helps to write out the dream, just like you're writing a story or writing a letter to somebody, or write it in an email and you don't have to send it. Remember, we got Mercury retrograde right now. You can write things out, but maybe you don't have to send it, okay? You remember the leggings? Strings and things? Wow. I actually have a video about Martina, who was a leggings model for me years ago. And of course, there's the absolutely dazzlingly beautiful TarotLumination scarf. Remember Abby Cicerelli from years ago? She was the first person to buy a TarotLumination scarf. I don't remember who bought what, but I know I sold a bunch of things. All right, Elizabeth, you're up. We're going to start with Elizabeth over here. And we're going to move on to Fluffles. And then eventually we're going to read for Diana. Elizabeth, you are Austria. I just wanted to let you know, give you an update. Martina, her screen name was Lily Lynn. And she's very intelligent, like super intelligent type. And she has a young son, Lee. Anyway, she lives over here in Austria. Right over there in Austria. And as you probably know, much of Western Europe has been heavily infected by extreme hyper left-wing communist agendas coming from the bullies in Brussels, part of the elites, okay? Anyway, Martina ended up refusing to take a certain type of needle in her body, and it made it difficult for her to earn a living and keep going, so she ended up not becoming homeless, but things became very, very difficult. She put up a fundraiser. I don't know how to find it right now. Maybe we can talk about that another time. But, yeah, Martina, they didn't kick her out of the home, because that's pretty brutal. And Austria is fairly accommodating towards people when it comes to housing, but she ended up in a very dire situation, and she set up a fundraiser to try and get help so she can buy food and pay for some electricity in her phone. The owners of the building have let her stay on without rent for the time being until things pick up. So she's very lucky. Otherwise, she would literally be on the streets. She doesn't hang out here hardly at all, ever, because, you know, she's like 9 or 10 hours different on the time zones. Anyway, let's have a look. All right, Elizabeth. So, everybody, you probably know Elizabeth. She's been here for years with all of us. She didn't get burgled, but it sounded like, if you read through the chat, 3 people tried to break in. It's very frustrating. It makes me extremely angry at times, but Elizabeth has a long history of attracting some very, very vicious, nasty, evil people for no reason. Elizabeth herself is a very sweet, loving, gregarious, life-loving character. Generous, kind, funny, intelligent, gifted as a writer. And then she has to deal with this SHIT. All right, let's have a look. What kind of messages do we have for Elizabeth here tonight? I don't really want to say anything about the new moon eclipse in this, but just keep it in the back of your mind that we are dealing with this upcoming Aries new moon eclipse with all the other my impressions that I've already shared with you. So let's just take the reading as a reading, and let's not overlay too much about the eclipse, all right? All right, cards are well shuffled in advance, and now live in real time. Let's bless this deck, bless every single card, the artist and the writers and the original drafting by Rider-Waite and Pamela Coleman Smith, and the reinterpretations as time goes on. Let's cut it all up. We're going to use the TarotLumination situational spread. It's just a diagnostic tool, okay? But we can cover huge territory with this. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle things. And let's have a look at external influences, of course. Duh. So we have the Fool. Well, in a way, this is very exciting, okay? What I'm sensing for you, Elizabeth, is the energy of liberty, freedom, and being released from any expectations of the future or what the future could be or should be. And so instead of getting to be, many years from now, when you end up and you look back on life at this point, you're not going to be saying to yourself, oh my God, I coulda, woulda, shoulda done this. I should have done that. I should have been that. I shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Woe is me. Misery, misery, misery. Regret, regret, regret. No. What I'm sensing with the Fool for you is that screw it. Just screw it. I'm just going to start my life from scratch again. I'm going to grab who I am, all of me, every element of my character, and I'm going to pretend like I'm a newborn baby. I'm just going to wake up in the morning and think, what do I want to do now? Who am I today? How do I feel? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I happy? Why? Oh, well, let's enjoy it. Let's be grateful. Am I sad? Why? Might as well enjoy it and just cry your eyes out and be miserable, rapid self-healing, and then get back to normal again. That's what I'm sensing. Just like throw caution to the wind. Now, I'm not saying be reckless, okay? We have to be very careful here. I'm not saying you can do whatever you want, Elizabeth. What I'm saying with the Fool card here is that we don't really know where this is going. But you don't want to live in fear because of the unknown. Fear of the unknown can cripple you. So let's take advantage of what's coming right now and just, just effing go for it, Wake up in the morning if you feel you want to telephone somebody, or you want to get an update on the new volunteer work, or you've got some new ideas that you want to do, or a new lifestyle that you're thinking of living, or new goals that you want to set for yourself. Go for it. Might as well. All right. All right, let's have a look. Here's the situation itself. Elizabeth is letting us know she's not writing at the moment. Well, she is she's actually, it's really like a novel. She's really a novelist, okay? Thank you. By the way, Elizabeth, of course, pretty much everyone else here is also more or less a psychic medium or healer of some kind. So please, Elizabeth, pay attention to what everyone else might be saying in the chat, okay? Do whatever you want with it, but pay attention. What's the situation itself? Okay. The beauty about the Ten of Swords, Elizabeth, is that it's almost like, well, it can't possibly get any worse. So it's almost like to me, this makes me feel you have a perfectly good excuse to just walk up to the mirror and just laugh your head off. We're looking at your life and your world around you thinking like, oh my God, seriously, look at me. I'm still standing. I'm still strong. I've been stabbed, backstabbed, betrayed. People lie to me, steal from me, try to break into my apartment, rip my life to pieces, rip my body to pieces. It can't get any worse. Well, it theoretically can, but I already know what it's like to experience maximum pain and suffering. So bring it on. Effing bring it on. Yeah, sure. So my feeling is like you might be at a chapter, like a turning point in life, where even though with this break-in, attempted break-in, it's like it didn't actually happen. Now remember, the reason I'm emphasizing it, like it's kind of a delicate point. Like you said very clearly on the screen, it didn't actually happen. They tried, but it didn't happen. That's a big change from a lot of the history that we've shared together, because a lot of things have broken into you and your life in your world, and bad things have happened. But this time, they didn't get in. The bad people are still out there doing bad things, and they can bring hell and pressure to your world. But you might have reached a point of evolution and maturity right now where you are better equipped to survive, where you can recognize the characteristics more and more, and you have more clarity, like, oh, I got to make sure that the locks work properly. I got to make sure that the building knows, and the managers know, and the police know about this. It might be an idea to file a police report. File a police report, even though the police aren't going to do anything, just to get it on paper, okay? So that you have something to refer to. It's very, very important. I think you can do it by phone. Sometimes you actually have to go to the police station. I think there's one in Culver City, okay? All right, let's have a look. So, Elizabeth, you said over here, I lost all my friends except you. Well, let's say us. We are here. So, Elizabeth, you lost all your friends except you. Let's say you lost your friends. Maybe it's because you have grown out of them. So what do you do now? It's a whole new landscape unfolding in front of you. Maybe with that losing all your friends, maybe that Ten of Swords is relating to that issue a little bit. Maybe that feels painful to you as though it's personal. But from what I can tell from the work that we've done together and readings that we've done together over a long period of time, some of those friends weren't exactly friends all the time. In fact, some of them turned into very, very vicious enemies. So perhaps, perhaps all is not lost, okay? All right, let's have a look. What's the challenges here? Okay, so what I'm sensing with the King of Pentacles is it sounds very kind of romantic, almost like a romance novel. It's like, it makes me feel like deep down inside you wish there would be a strong, capable, honest, gentle, caring, loving, strong male character who could come into your life and save you. Okay, I'm keeping it very simple here. There's also the other layer part of this, like where it's like there's this part of you, because you are, I would say, a very feminine person. You've had a history of attracting a lot of men, and that's because you have very feminine qualities. My feeling is that some of the men you've attracted might have presented themselves as something like this, but they turn out to be a little bit less than this, and that leaves a sense of disappointment, pain, and suffering. Like it's almost like being like a little girl in a fairy tale, where a lot of women, not every woman, but a lot of women would really like to have a suitable mate show up in their life where there's mutual respect, mutual support, and the creation of stability and comfort in such a way that you can enjoy being the woman that you are, instead of having to put up with some of this shit year after year, One last mention about the King of Pentacles. Sometimes I do readings where we talk about the masculine and feminine energy that everyone has inside of ourselves, the question of balance. My feeling here is that you're probably extremely reluctant, because some of the things that are required in your life would normally be in the domain of a strong, capable male who's well vested in safety and security and a good home and maintaining that kind of energy. And then if you're on your own and you have to basically fill that gap yourself, it can make you feel lonely. And then that becomes kind of resentment, like, why do I have to fulfill this role? Why can't I just be me and attract the suitable person accordingly? Now, don't get too excited about any of this, because remember, we've got this very, very difficult aspect with the Aries North Node, Aries and Chiron, and the new moon eclipse and everything around that, very, very tight onto that Aries point, this energy of self. So how are we going to move forward here? Well, there's no doubt that you will endure, because basically whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I don't know if you noticed, Elizabeth, because, well, you're you, but I'm not you. And so I've known you for many years now. And what's actually happening is, like what I just said, what doesn't kill you is actually making you stronger. You're still going to be facing challenges going forward, one way or another. We all do. But in this case, you have reached a kind of threshold in life where you are now officially strong enough to deal with it going forward. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, because every week, every month, every year, there might be a new set of obstacles and challenges that have to be met in life. But you can handle it, okay? With the Seven of Wands here, it's a very, very strong, powerful, capable energy. And it's just a reminder. This is just a reminder to you, Elizabeth, that you're actually an extremely strong person deep inside. And yes, Maybe it's because you are so strong that you attracted so many challenges, and you may continue to attract challenges as you go. Now, I want to wrap up this little reading here with a complete segue, okay? Don't take this personally, don't overlay it with politics, but one of the best ways I can think of describing this is by this. Okay, that's your reading. We're going to leave it like that for now. Just want to share something. Okay, Elizabeth, here's what I'm thinking. You know what I was just saying about what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. There's a fellow called Donald Trump right now. Some people hate his guts. Some people think he's awesome. And he's under tremendous attack right now. He's extremely wealthy. He is a classic example of a self-made person. He had a very good start in life, but everything else he created out of his own energy. And some people don't like that. He's a very happy man. He's a very wealthy man. He's a very lucky man. He's a very blessed man. Oh, hold on. Hold on, I got to check my phone. Sorry, I should have switched it off to airplane mode. What the? It's more spam. Okay, so what's happening is that this fellow Donald, he is being attacked by fake people who want to be his friend, and they betray him. Any form of attack to try and take him down, because he's a very strong character. And he wants to do something with that character. He feels that he can make America great again, for example. So the analogy that I'm trying to connect here with you, Elizabeth, is that you were born very strong. And I'm not saying it's fair, but you've attracted a lot of pain and suffering. But you are growing and you're maturing above and beyond it, some way, somehow. And you're growing stronger because of it. Even with the attempted break-in the other day, last night, or whenever it was. You're now stronger because you realize how incredibly important it is to create strong barriers and maintain a permanent vigil about self-defense and self-protection. Because you have to remember, a lot of your defense mechanisms were destroyed when you were a child. So it makes you hyper-vulnerable. But now you are much stronger, and you can maintain a stronger self-defense by your attitude, because you have the strength to do that. So anyway, it's the same thing with Donald Trump. What doesn't kill him just makes him stronger. And that's what makes the mainstream media so outraged. It's because the more and more that Donald is attacked, the stronger he becomes. Ah! You get it? Do you see the analogy, Elizabeth? Okay. He probably just used credit cards. Okay, so let's get on. I don't want to get into the Trump stuff. Sorry about that, but I was just trying to make an analogy. All right, Elizabeth, there you go. Up next, we have Fluffles. Okay. Now, Fluffles, you put your notes here way at the top of the chat, so I'm going to have to go back up through the chat. Actually, let's do a shuffle up first. I'm going to do a shuffle. I want to do a shuffle, okay? How are we going to do this? And then we can do your reading, okay? my God, look at the chat. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. All right, here we go. All right, Fluffles, I got to scroll up, got to go up to the way to the top of the chat here and find your notes. It's way when you came in. Okay. Okay, I'm going way back to the chat at the beginning of the show, folks. I'm reading it now from Fluffles. Excuse me. I would like to know what's going to happen with my company in the next 3 months. Will I close some deals? What is the trajectory for my company in the next 3 months? Good? Bad? Good? Low? Thank you. All right, well, let's have a look. So, in translating that to a tarot reading, it's like, what kind of messages do we have here for Fluffles tonight regarding your business over the next 3 months? Okay? You just have to sort of, you know, adjust the terminology a tiny bit. Perfect. Yep. All right, cards are well shuffled. Thank you very much. Here we go, Fluffles. We're going to cut it up and dive in, all right? Here we go. Let's have a look here. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. And here's how we're going to handle things. Let's have a look. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm asking my invisible friends to come in tight, get really close, help me, give me any nudges, clues, visual, audio, whatever, to make the best of this for you. Okay, Fluffles? So I ask you to do the same so it's reciprocal, so we get a positive feedback loop between our invisible friends. You get it? Let's have a look. Aw, look at that. The 10 of Cups. So my feeling is that the universe, despite whatever I said about the eclipse early in the show, the universe is kind of lining up for you in such a way that, you know what? Maybe we do need to take things gently here, because we're starting with something very new. We've got a new business, and isn't it a coincidence, or is it a coincidence, that it's lining up with a brand new moon over here, and it's heading down the highway over here. Life moves on, okay? And what this is suggesting is that this Aries energy is very supportive to you. Now, I can't remember your astrology very well, if at all, Fluffles, so I'm a little bit handicapped here. But in the terms of a reading, let's just say the Aries energy is very supportive for you in terms of like I would call it a broad spectrum influence in such a way that harmony, because you're coming in with good intentions, okay? You want good outcomes for people. It's a service. You're providing, in a business, you provide a service to other people, and you are rewarded accordingly. And it creates, if it's done properly, it creates a positive feedback loop where you are appreciated by your clients and you appreciate your clients. It's a mutually appreciative, mutually supportive situation. And it's exactly what needs to be tapped into regarding this energy here. The Aries North Node. Very closely aligned with the sun, okay? So that's about, to me it makes me feel the message is, be your most awesome self possible. Because Aries is known for being pretty direct. The Aries is not known for all the mischievous things like lies, betrayal, treachery, deception, two-faced, whatever. Aries people tend to be very direct, open, and straight. Like what you see is what you get. What you get is what you see. There's not too much ambiguity. And that can work for you, okay, Fluffles? Mutually appreciative. So it's like, it's almost like if you do the business properly, your clients almost become like family. And that can spread. Like by serving your clients, they regard you as a family member. And they would start to put word of mouth out towards their family and friends and connections. And one of the things that I've noticed, because I've been involved in all sorts of little enterprises, is that the sense of family and a happy, harmonious family atmosphere is very, very conducive to a business, especially if it's a small sole proprietor type ship or whatever. It's just a very small personal private enterprise. For example, I'm just thinking really super simple things like, depending on the work environment, whether it's remote or local, if it's local where someone has to come into an office, having a very, very homely, warm, inviting office situation can be very conducive to good business for you. In other words, like, oh, would you like a cup of coffee? Can I get you something? Or do we need to order something special in just for you? I've got some candy here. We could, maybe if it's going to go through lunchtime, let's order in some pizza and we'll talk over lunch. How about that? Or you know what? Screw it. Forget the office today. Let's go to a coffee shop and talk business. You know, things like that, where it's very, very much about creating a cozy family, fuzzy-wuzzy feeling. Okay, what's the situation itself? Well, Queen of Swords here. So with the Queen of Swords energy, my feeling is, the indication here is that you have to be kind of ruthless and discerning about anything and everyone involved with your business that does not comport with this sweet, beautiful energy here. Like if you attract a client and they think that they're going to get this, and this, and this, and this from you, and even though you might want their business, if you know deep in your heart that this client is actually out of harmony with your core principles and beliefs at the core of your heart, then you're better off telling the client, you know what, I don't think I can actually help you in your situation. I wish I could, but you might be better served by going this place or that place. Sorry. Now, the clients might think, who the uck are you to say no to some business? Okay, so that's what I'm sensing here. It's very important that when you're starting up, you don't just grab onto anybody and anything you can just to try and get business, all right? It's incredibly important to be very discerning. You only want clients that are really good for you and you're really good for them. Anything less than that, it's counterproductive. You'll regret it. Now let's have a look. What are the challenges here? Because it's very difficult to start a business for anybody, no matter who you are. What are the challenges here? Well, it might feel like once you get started, are you going to get a chance to get a break? I also feel, this is going to sound very weird, okay, Fluffles, but please understand. With the Four of Swords here, my feeling is there's a part of you that one of your motivations for wanting to be in business and be you and who you are, what you do and how you do it, is for your own personal healing in your own way. Like it's a very private, personal thing for you. Doing this business isn't just about making a buck. It's very much about deep, deep, deep self-healing, because you've suffered a lot of wounds in previous business relationships that you did not deserve, but you pressed forward anyway. So if you look very, very close, it probably won't show up here, but the element of relationships is, I believe, is very strong with this Four of Swords here. So instead of piling up on anything and anyone to make a buck, it's very important to be very discriminating about your clients. In other words, quality over quantity. Now, the other thing I'm sensing here is that as an entrepreneur, as a business person, you're probably very driven. And so it would be very natural for you to go out and hunt, go out and attract clients, go out and to do that. But the way to operate going forward is to trust in your deep, deep inner soul that you're already programmed, and allow for like more things to come to you. Just, in other words, you don't necessarily have to do really intense marketing and promotions and stuff like that, and really, really, really hyper aggressive advertising or campaigns or strategies to get clients. You might be very motivated to do that, and it's like you might feel now like, well, I'm going to do that. I can't help myself. Because you might fear that if I did take a break, if I do relax, if I do things in a more gentle, more, I'd say, cozy manner, discriminating, I might not get the clients, as many as I want, as fast as I want, as big as I need now. So that might be a challenge for you. Like, in other words, in some ways you could be your own worst enemy. And like, what your body wants to do is enjoy the business and let the business, allow the business to be what it is. And as a side effect of the business, you can enjoy the, what would I call it? The sense of reward from perhaps approaching your life, your world, your business from a different attitude or perspective than you might have done in the past. It just might feel very unusual to you. That's all. It's like you're programmed to succeed. Okay, Fluffles? That's your nature. You're programmed to succeed and be happy. You're highly motivated, highly capable. And like, oh, I can rest on the weekend. Oh, I can take a break. I don't have to sleep tonight. I'll just do more marketing, and I'll do more cold calling, blah, blah, blah. And you're very reluctant to rest. But it's very, very important that you do. And take things gently. Don't layer yourself up with huge astronomical pressure and expectations. All right? So how do we move forward with all of this? Okay, I basically shut up and take back everything I just said. No. So anyway, with the Knight of Swords, you've got to factor in what I just talked about here. Okay? You're going to have to find a balancing act where when you are actually in, look at all these swords here, when you're actually in the vortex of business itself. Let's say you just made a call, or a client just came in, or you just scored a client randomly out there in public or whatever, and you're actually now engaged. You're in business. You've got a client. You're with them, they're with you. You're going to figure out, are we going to do a deal here? Is there business going to happen here? So what I'm sensing here is that you've got these two things that look like they're, what's the word? They're opposing each other. And in a way they are, but they don't have to be. In other words, if you can manage your energy in such a way that you will allow this beautiful, gentle energy to flow through you, allow more, what do they call it, the laws of attraction to work for you, where the real job is making sure you get rid of the flies and unsuitable clients, and then what remains is good. Quality over quantity. Now the thing is, when you do engage with a client and you find one that works, you think like, I can relate to this client. And the client feels, you know what, Fluffles, I can relate to you. Let's talk. So how are we going to do this? Let's go have coffee. Let's just take this gently. I want to explore things more, blah, blah, blah. Do it the fuzzy, warm-hearted way. But when you do that with precision and vigor and life and activity and precision and truth and honesty and integrity, okay? So when it actually comes to the moment to strike, you do it with everything that you've got. But you only strike and close deals and do business with people that are very much in your frequency, in your wavelength, in your most healthy frequencies, so that it feeds on itself. And then you do all the intellectual, complex work of sorting out the business in such a way that you end up with a happy client. It's work. Yes, it's work. And the thing is, it's like when that moment comes, you're a business person, so you probably instinctively know, aha, I got one. I'm not talking about, like, you know how, like, when people go fishing. Now, I don't like fishing. I'm not good at it. But you can sit there for hours, casting and then pulling it in, casting and pulling it in, and all of a sudden, wait a minute, I think I got one. And then when you got one, you do whatever you have to do. Okay? So, I hope that makes sense, Fluffles. So over the next 3 months, what I'm sensing is that you are sort of divinely guided, divinely protected from the heart and soul aspect. When it comes to the business, it's a very intellectual process, but you can at times be your own worst enemy. You've got to go back, be very discriminating, quality over quantity. But when you do find the right client, it's probably going to be mutual appreciation, where the client feels that you're the right person for them and you feel you're the right person for them. Okay, so it has to be mutually appreciative, mutual appreciation, okay? And then when you've got that, then you do your business, close your deals, or whatever you do, how you do it, okay? But only then. In the meantime, you take things gently, allow nature to unfold. I hope that made sense, Fluffles. Let me just go over here a second. Yeah. Who am I to speak? I guess you could say I have a business here, but it doesn't make any money. I have the donations from you guys, of course, that's fine. But I was demonetized years ago, and that's just how it is. So I'm not exactly the business whiz consultant, but what the cards are telling me is what I just told you, and you have the acuity, You have the acuity here to do what has to be done, but what I'm sensing, going back to the beginning of the reading, it's new starts and new beginnings, coming at it from a whole new perspective where it's very much about the heart energy and what works for you. So you're happy. You have to be happy at the core of the business. And then the rest of the reading speaks for itself. Do not tolerate, don't have anything to do with clients that are not suitable for you. Trust your instinct, trust your heart that will tell you that this isn't going to work. And just gently kind of let it fizzle out or walk away. And you can learn and grow in a personal way from that. But when the right person does show up, you to them and them to you, it's mutual appreciation and you go for it. Okay? And that becomes word of mouth for the future, like we talked about really early in the reading. Okay? Thank you, Fluffles. Okay, so we got to put all this away, and we're going to read for Diana. Let's shuffle up here, and here, and here. Thanks, Diana. Oh, necessary truths. Yeah, well, I'll tell you. You're getting an ad every 7 minutes. YouTube reserves the right to place ads on all my videos that they haven't shut down. I don't get anything from it, but they do it anyway. Okay, necessary. A lot of my videos have been demonetized. I can set all the computer stuff with YouTube to get this show monetized, all right? Theoretically, it's monetized. So that if I had, 70 or 80 or 100 or 1,000 or 2,000 viewers, and I was actually generating enough revenue to cross the earnings threshold, then I would be making money and YouTube would be making money. I had 13,000, 14,000 subscribers a few years ago, but every day they keep removing one or two, and I'm down to 11,000 subscribers now. The other thing about the subscribers is that they're effectively muted. YouTube does not send out any notifications except to a very, very tiny number of people. And there's no way for me to go back into YouTube and tell them, hey, Google, YouTube, could you send out a notification to my 11,000 remaining subscribers and let them know I'm still here and that they're welcome to visit? YouTube will not do that for me. At most, they send out 50. Okay? It's impossible to run a channel at that scale. You can't do it. So I've basically given up. But the computer says, oh, yeah, you're monetized. But it comes to this. Okay? It's not fair, necessary truth. It really is not fair. Okay? Just imagine, here's an example. In the early days of YouTube, people like me were saying, well, hey, why doesn't YouTube just take $1 from every subscriber and split it? Okay? If every subscriber pays $1 to subscribe to my channel, 50 cents goes to YouTube, 50 cents goes to me. I'd be rich. Yeah, I had a lot of subscribers. Sometimes we would have 3,000 or 4,000 views on a video. That was kind of normal back in my heydays. Another ad. Oh my God. It's really not fair, but it's the YouTube platform, and they basically do whatever they want to do. If they don't like what I say or what I do, if they don't like a video, they just shut it down or demonetize it, remove it, delete it, whatever. I've given up discussing with them. I used to go back and forth with a customer, client, blah, blah, support. And they're full of BS. They're just completely full of lies and BS about all their, community guideline stuff. They have an agenda. People like me do not fit the agenda. They don't want to shut me down completely because that would look like evil. So they let me they let me go. No, hey, Jeffrey, if you want something during the week, we can easily set it up. We'll do a little micro mini reading during the week, okay? But I can't handle it more tonight. I just saw your notes there on the screen. I know it's stupid. It's not fair. I used to go back because they have, theoretically, YouTube gives people like me a chance to challenge their decisions and have a live team review my channel, review the content, review the demonetization and how and why I got demonetized. Did I say the wrong thing about the wrong people at the wrong time, about a subject that I'm not allowed to talk about, and so on and so on. And I learned that it doesn't matter what I say during the reviews because they've already made the decision. And effectively it comes down to I am guilty until proven innocent, and there's no way for me to prove my innocence. If there was huge amounts of money at stake, which there were, then I would have challenged it. But I've given up. I've lost hope. I gave up. I don't care anymore. I don't bother. It's very annoying. It makes me very angry and very bitter inside because there's some tarot channels and astrology channels that are making serious bank money. They get thousands, tens of thousands of readings. They have 100, 200, 300,000 subscribers. It's because they have been selected and, let's say, groomed by the YouTube algorithm. Okay? They tell you that the algorithm is a fixed algorithm. It's not. It's controlled and manipulated by humans. There's a generic algorithm that applies to everybody, and then each channel has like a secondary algorithm behind it. Okay? That's all there is to it. All right, Diana. I still have, like Diana, I still have plenty of subscribers that could just about support the channel, but YouTube will not send out the notifications, and I cannot get them to do it. I've tried many times, and they just will not do it. That's one of the ways that they choke my channel. In fact, that is the primary way that they choke the channel, is by turning down the dial. It's a dial. Basically, they could send out, I don't know, 3,000, 2,000. They could send out 2,000 notifications, but they don't. Oh yeah, I've never fully recovered, and I've stopped groaning and moaning about it a lot these days. But every now and again, the wound comes up and I get very, very angry and kind of depressed. Very bitter, resentful. But hey, I'm an optimist, and so I'm just choosing to be happy anyway. There we go. All right, Diana. Diana, I can't remember if you put any notes on the screen for me, but I don't know if you've got some issues or a subject like, hey TL, what kind of messages do you have for me tonight regarding the subject of ... I don't know, like finance, health, relationship, destiny, spirit, sense of whatever it could be, okay? All right. Give me a second, folks. Well, I'll tell you what it was exactly, Diana. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have to take a pee break, okay, people? So give me a minute. Just want to share something here. What actually happened, it was in November 2018. Two women came to my channel and they started attacking the channel viciously. This was after a period of about 5 months where a lot of trolls were attacking my channel, claiming that I was possessed by demons and that I was working for the devil. The two women that came on operated as a tag team, basically saying that they have reported me to YouTube. They've proven that I'm running a sex cult and that I trap women, physically trap them, invite them and lure them to my house and put them in a basement, take their credit cards and use them as sex slaves. That is what was presented to Google YouTube. And within 5 days of that story being presented to YouTube, my channel was completely destroyed. That's it. I managed to keep a few thousand going, and then it dropped down, and then it just went to nothing. Okay? So, there you go. So, you know what? I'm gonna play my song because I'm angry now. I'm gonna play my Second Amendment song. As some of you know, I'm a fan of the U.S. Constitution and our Second Amendment. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play my own song here. It's called my 2A song. It's my Second Amendment song. And it sounds like this. It's very rough. It's an acoustic song. Okay? Here it goes. And I'll be back in just a moment. I'm taking a pee break, all right? I want to be comfortable for the readings. All right, here we go. Let's see if it comes up. Just checking if the song comes up okay for you. Okay, I'm calling this my 2A song. All right. I'll be back in a minute. TarotLumination. It's pretty rough, but I hope you get something out of it. When will I stop being censored? All I'm doing is speaking the truth. Instead I am labeled as a domestic terrorist extremist with a short fuse. The fake news just lies and suppresses. The Marxists are writing the scripts. The unaware masses get led to their slaughter while patriots try to resist. Oh, you can't take me down and you can't shut me up. I got the First Amendment by right. And if the first one is threatened, I've still got the second. I won't go down without a fight. Yes, we still have our sweet Constitution, but it's severely being abused. Our only solution is a new revolution to take back what belongs to you and me. I'm sick of the perverts and pedos trying to normalize child sacrifice. They revel in evil and their satanic rituals packaged in their delicious lies. And can't take me down, and you can't shut me up. I got the First Amendment by right. And if the first one is threatened, I've still got the second. I won't go down without a fight. It all began way back on 4th of July in 1776. The founders and fighters gave their lives for our freedom. I don't want to live through that again. You see, I'm recalling a past life from that exact time. I shed blood to shake off the chains of the tyrants and despots who owned us like cattle. But if I have to, I'll fight them again. Oh, you can't take me down and you can't shut me up. I got the First Amendment by right. And if the first one is threatened, I've still got the second. I won't go down without a fight. No, you can't take us down and you can't shut us up. We got the First Amendment by right. And if the first one is threatened, we've still got the second. We won't go down without a fight. Okay. I hope you liked it. Gotta press the stop button now. This is little Bubba. I don't know if you can see him. The lighting is very strong here in the studio, and his fur is very shiny and it kind of reflects. Here's Bubba. I'm going to make video about Bubba. He's a lovely, lovely animal. He's a lovely, lovely animal. He loves me. I love him. We spend time together. I've learned a lot about life from him. He's a senior, but he acts more like a little kid. How are you, Bubba? We're going to hang out after the show. He's just having a sip of water, okay? Okay, let's do. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look. I see some notes. I am recently left a seriously bad situation and now I am healing. I'm much stronger and ready to live my best life. The Arizona dream came to an end. Okay. Sorry, Bubba. I'm going to put Diana's notes right here. A Bubba hat. Oh gosh. All right. So I'm going to shuffle up. I didn't even really shuffle properly. Give me a second. I really do need to shuffle things properly. I don't like just a quick, fast fix shuffle. I need to do it properly. Just give me a second, okay? No, I'm gonna. Okay, give me a second. Sorry. Oh dear, oh dear. Thanks for visiting, Bubba. It's interesting. I've had Bubba dreams. I've also had boo-boo dreams. I think some of you know I had to say farewell to Bonnie a few weeks ago, about a month ago now. She's in heaven. She's in cat heaven. She stayed very close to me for about, I don't know, 10 days or so after she departed. I don't see her so much now. But in spirit, she became, I would say, an even bigger, more bold cat than she was here. Little Bubba, who's right here, he's very kind of alert, sensitive, and he likes to be at the center of attention. He likes to keep a close eye on whatever's going on around him in case, something works out in his favor. And he's always, let's say, concerned about my welfare and my well-being. And so, he I don't know what the word is. He's like a little healing spirit. I don't know how else to describe it. He's very sensitive. I think he's got a very strong Piscean streak in him somewhere. But he's also very alert, sort of like an Aquarius or a Gemini type, Yes, I've had several bad heat strokes since I've lived here in Las Vegas. And on one of them, I had kind of collapsed on the ground. And he came up and kind of sat on me and put his arms around my shoulder to make sure that I was okay. It was very much a healing experience. It was beautiful, just beautiful. All right, I'm going to go back up to your notes a little bit up here. I just want to see your notes again, Diana. It says here, okay, I recently left a seriously bad situation and now I'm healing, much stronger and ready to live my best life. The Arizona dream came to an end. I guess we're looking at a sort of a what now type of situation. What kind of messages? What messages do we have here for Diana going forward from now, especially if we set the clock in motion regarding the situation using this very profound piece of extreme astrology here. Even though I've downplayed it because of how the eclipse eclipses out the sun energy, it's still a very powerful astrological timestamp. It's very strange, unique, weird timestamp astrologically. Hi, Bubba. Thanks for hanging out with us. I love having you here, Bubba. Thank you so much. All right, so what messages do we have? Oh, I'm sorry, Necessary, about all those stupid ads. It's really not fair. So let's have a look. Cards are well shuffled here. Let's bless the deck, bless the card. Thank you, Diana, for coming here tonight. Please gather round your invisible friends and ask them to stay close so that if you sort of sense anything, hear anything, feel anything, it'll be like an amplification of the reading, all right? Let's cut this up and see what's going on. We're using the TarotLumination situational spread. Here's the situation. We might as well have a forward-looking type of reading here, okay? Because it's new starts and new beginnings. It's a new moon. It's a very big new moon, but it's also an eclipsed very big new moon, okay? Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle things. And let's just add the word going forward to account for the Aries stuff, all right? Let's have a look. External influences. So we've got the Six of Cups here. Okay, so what I'm sensing is that for you, Diana, for you, Diana, it's really important that you tune into the esoteric, spiritual, what's the word I'm looking for? Psychic aspect of your life going forward. Sometimes the Six of Cups relates to past lives, past lives experiences, past life relationships, like a rich history of love shared, love given, love received. And it could be an indication that going forward, I'm thinking fairly long-term here, quite a long-term trajectory. Going forward, you might want to sort of allow for, how am I going to say this? Allow for, it's really Piscean energy. Hold on. What I'm sensing, Diana, is that it's important to allow for the intangible stuff, the really psychic, spiritual, Neptunian things to have a chance to play out in your new life, in your new world ahead, if this so-called Arizona dream is over and like a new chapter is beginning with this huge Aries cluster and the new moon and the eclipse and everything. It's new starts and new beginnings for everybody. But what does that look like going forward? You already have a life, you already have a momentum going forward, but things change. Things get eclipsed out that are no longer relevant, and you get brought into a new dynamic of what is newly relevant to you. And that might include relationships. And in the context of relationships, you might want to allow that a significant past life relationship type of dynamic may appear on the horizon. Okay? How you would detect that, it's typical for most people if they end up in a very significant past life relationship. There's some kind of telltale energy that both parties can feel, like, and I've known you before. It's like we're just picking up where we left off, especially if love was shared beforehand, okay? But for that to occur, I don't know the context of it here. I don't know if it's love, romance, marriage, dating, family, something, a mate, a partner, a friendship of some kind. But please allow for that to enter your life in such a way that it might be out of your normal. I don't know how you conduct your life. If you heavily lean on the spiritual aspect, that's fine. But whatever it is, lean more, allow more and more for the divine to work through you and to become more and more present in your life. Okay? Especially when it comes to love and relationships. Because some people try to do everything in a three-dimensional, mechanistic type of way, like, oh, I need this, I need that, I want to have this, I want to have that, I want to be with that person, and they're doing everything from the neck upwards, just using like logic and ego. But there's so much more going on besides what happens up in your head. There's the heart, there's the pineal gland, there's your gut, there's your aura. Allow for all of that. Here's the situation. Oh wow, the Fool again. So this is very much aligned with the Aries new moon, okay? We might as well say Aries new moon eclipse, but the real emphasis for me here is just the Aries new moon. It's a chance, it's a time to allow yourself to, it's like, let's say you've had projects or ambitions or a sense of destiny that has not yet fully manifested, and that there is a sort of a, what do they call it, manifest destiny that you can sense that awaits you. And it's like, allow yourself to be wild, allow yourself to roam, allow your spirit to roam, allow your mind. Basically, it's a body, mind, heart, and soul situation. That's what I'm sensing for you, Diana, where you give yourself permission. Every morning you wake up and you give yourself permission. You know what? I was going to do that, and that. But you know what? What I really want to do is this, and this. Oh, okay. Logic might say to do this, but your heart tells you, let's do that. So that's what you do, okay? Okay, I'll be up there soon, Bubba. Don't you worry. Okay. All right. Also, let's just take note of the little companion while we're here. There's a little companion to the Fool. I don't know if you have a pet or a cat or a dog or a little animal in your life somewhere, somehow. Might want to allow for that going forward, like a little spiritual support. It's an amazing thing to have a little animal as a companion. It's been very hard for me to keep pets over my life because most of them, basically every pet I've ever had I never went out to get one. Let's put it that way. They always find me. And then I end up taking care of them. All right, let's have a look. I'm very intrigued about this relationship here. The animal. Anyway, let's have a look. What are the challenges here going forward, Diana? It looks to me like it's time for you to be bold, have fun, be happy, allow the heart center to open and expand. If you have been very guarded and protected recently about your heart center, it's okay to release that now and allow yourself to feel. Okay? Oh, I have a yellow lab. A little yellow lab girl. There you go. There you go. The thing about having a dog is that sometimes they can go on adventures with you. And a little white multi-pool Bex. Oh my God. Wow. A multi-poo. Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. I'm sensing a lot of freedom, and that you, not necessarily, maybe you haven't captured it yet, but right now, this is an indication that it's really time for you to tap into the energy of the free spirit of me first, me first, me first, Aries. It's my time for me to shine. The me first principle, no apologies. I'm going to allow myself to kind of go a little bit wild here. You don't have to chase love, okay? It's much more about just opening your own heart center and allowing the laws of attraction to work, where perhaps a significant past life relationship dynamic becomes apparent. Now, I'm not saying it's, mates or partners. It could be anything. It could be a child, a relative. It could be a new friend. It could be some kind of companion that represents love. I see your notes, Diana. All right, let's have a look. What are the challenges here? Wow, that's interesting. We had the King of Pentacles in the same reading. I think it was for, was it for Elizabeth? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was for Elizabeth. So, I don't know if you've ever enjoyed that component to your life, Diana, where you've had someone in your sphere, your world, your life, your influence, maybe a paternal figure, a brotherly figure, a partnership figure, a friendship figure who represented stability and abundance, responsibility, integrity, trustworthiness, durability, someone that you could lean on when times are hard, someone who's there for you when things are hard for you. I don't know if you've ever had that or tasted that. And if you have had that and it's not there right now, it might be something that you miss. It also might be something that you deserve. Okay? But what I'm also... Yeah, no chasing for me. So what it's like is like... To me, this whole reading here feels very much about opening doorways, opening gateways to the heart, to the spirit, the mind, the soul, to allow the laws of attraction to work for you in such a way that the frequencies of love have a chance to take like little seeds that can arrive in your life, in your world, and find a place that is suitable for them to grow. And so you start radiating love in your aura, and it becomes detectable. And then the laws of attraction start to function, and then you start attracting love into your life to the point where it gets quite specific, where certain people who are going through similar journeys themselves, it's like it's magnetism, it's gravity, it's the laws of attraction. When past life people come together again in this lifetime, it's because they were attracted to each other, especially if it involves a frequency of love, a loving frequency of some kind. But like you said, there's no chasing for you. It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, your brother. Oh, okay. Maybe you miss him. Yeah. I have an awesome brother. My brother is just like this. He literally is just like this. He's this kind of guy. I'm extremely lucky to have this kind of guy as my brother. So, if you have had that experience in your life and it's now gone and you miss that, it's understandable. If you've enjoyed this kind of connection and you deserve it, then you might feel like, I don't know if I'll ever get this again, but it's okay. It's okay to want this and deserve this in the context of, love coming into your life. I'm not necessarily talking about romantic love or anything like that, okay? So please allow for different variations on the Six of Cups when it comes to reincarnation, past life, coming back into this life, and so on, okay? All right, let's have a look. What is how are we going to go forward with this? It looks like there's a lot of momentum here. That's all ready to go. So really all you have to do is kind of unhook yourself from whatever limitations of the past you might have and just allow yourself to roam free, open up, allow the heart chakra to open, allow good things to happen to you by going forward into the new horizons, a new life, a new world, okay? Now, how are we going to deal with things going forward? Ooh! Okay. So, with the Ace of Swords here, this is a card of sacred opportunity. And, you don't have to do anything with it, but it's there for you. It's a very strong energy. And it's basically saying now is the time not just to strike, but to take action. And if you've got what it feels like to me, Diana, is like if you've got some really cool ideas that have been germinating for a long time and you've never had the chance or the courage to do anything about it or do anything with it, now is the time. It's time to seize the moment. Like these two are working very, very closely together. It's a timing issue, okay? Where you seize the moment. Okay, now it's a combination here by deliberately opening up the heart center, and operating from the heart center, okay? Giving yourself freedom, giving yourself permission to be free and to start and recalibrate your life almost from scratch. Let's not talk about this one for now. And then just go forward. So I'm going to have to do an illustration here, okay? I've done this quite a few times on the channel, on my show, where a lot of people live from the neck upwards. Everything is done on their phone, on their computer, on their screen, on their streaming videos, on their news, on whatever they're hearing, on whatever they're seeing, whatever they smell, whatever's coming out of their mouth, whatever's coming into their head from other people's mouths. As though your head is completely, like, you know, disembodied from you. The reality is your head is just where a very strong storage unit for your brain and all your sensory organs. The skull is very, very thick bone. I saw this amazing diagram the other day about the human nervous system, about how everything goes up into the brain, into the hypothalamus, and all of that stuff. It's an amazing thing. And it's all one. Now, there's an expression we used to use. What was it like? It's very, very important so that in the way that like a lot of evil people operate from here upwards, where they have disconnected themselves from the heart energy. And they can be very intellectual, very attractive, very appealing, very magnetic, very convincing. They can be powerful leaders, but they're doing everything from here, and there's no heart, there's no soul. Ideally, what we want is for the head to be the servant of the heart. But the way the world operates is that it's very convenient and desirable for the heart center to be set aside or manipulated or controlled or perverted in such a way that the heart becomes the servant of the head. So in other words, things like propaganda becomes a very powerful tool, psychological manipulation, and then everything becomes inverted, and evil appears good and good appears evil. Like that's happening very much in the world right now. In the United States, crime is being legalized and self-defense is being criminalized. It's insane. But that's what the intellectual elites are telling us is how the world is supposed to be. To me, that's bullshit. Anyway, with the Ace of Swords here, with the combination of the rest of the reading, in essence, it's just like it's time for really tune into the heart center, open up, allow past, present, and future heart energy, love aura type energy to become the dominant energy in your life, in your world. And learn how to operate from the heart center, where the head is the servant of the heart. And this is the golden opportunity. Now is the time to, if you've ever lived upside down like that, where you have sacrificed your heart in order to accommodate some kind of intellectual, rational approach to life, and it results in disappointment, it's time to switch it out. Operate from the heart center. Pray. Allow the healing power of love to enter your body, mind, heart, and soul from above, so that you are now full and flowing with the healing power of love. And then you can activate the Ace of Swords, so that the Ace of Swords is fully integrated into the rest of your body, mind, heart, and soul. So it's all one thing instead of this detached entity. And now's the time to make that happen. But what I'm trying to do is simplify it and put it in the simplest way that I can, so that the take home for you for this reading is like, oh, I get it. I see what you're saying, TL. Thank you. It's kind of like a mindset, like a recalibration of your whole way of being going forward as of right now, as of tomorrow, as of the Aries new moon and the new moon eclipse. Just get rid of anything and everything that's not working. Go forward, make love the priority. Allow for love to flood and flow into your life, or gently enter. Make that the priority, and then this is the opportunity with the Ace of Swords. It's a tremendous opportunity to invert whatever was incorrectly aligned in the past. Okay? I hope it makes sense. What are the notes there? Sorry. Since I was the three of you, since you were 5, okay. What can happen? What often happens, what I've noticed, is that when people go through a lot of pain or trauma in their lives in a way that's unjust or unfair or kind of in the extreme end, and it's outside of your wishes or your desired direction for life, people can get very bitter, angry, and resentful, and the heart energy just gets shut down, cut off, because your brain tells you, I don't want to ever get hurt again. I'm not going to open my heart. And from that point, you just start living as if your brain is your sole organ, like your brain is you. And that's unhealthy because you're limiting yourself so dramatically. So it's time to recalibrate so that you're living as a complete person, body, mind, heart, and soul. Okay? And it's okay to open up the heart center and feel and to love and to be loved. All right. What's that? I would say you have to reveal it to heal it. Yeah. That's another thing I say on this channel all the time. You've got to reveal it to heal it. You can't fix a car problem unless you know what the problem is. Same thing with people. You know? I see what you're saying. It's new love is number one. New love is number one. New love is number one. Cool. Be loving. Be loved. So to basically activate the mechanism, it means opening up the heart and being willing to be loving in any situation. So whether it's bumping into someone on the street or at the grocery store, or whether it's, I don't know, hanging out with friends or family, or being in the workplace where this sort of mantra, be loving, be loved, becomes a priority. And it can be, it's like, what's that word? NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Be loving, be loved. Put it the other way. I am loving, I am loved. Put it this way further, more visually with my hands. I am loving, I am loved. I am loving, I am loved. Oh, it sounds so easy, okay? So a lot of people don't want to operate that way. They want to basically say, I'm not going to do anything till I know that somebody loves me, and then I might love them back. But you have to prove it to me first. It's going to end up as a very miserable journey. Right? I guess one thing we have to remember is that be loving, be loved. We do expose ourselves to being hurt. Our heart can become very exposed and sensitive. But you're strong, Diana. I don't think you would be here unless you could handle it, the message. I'm sure you can handle it, okay? Uh-oh, so you're getting a secondary reading coming in. I can see it here from Necessary. He keeps showing me a red hat or a red logo on a hat. Keep the hat. You have a picture of it. There's another girl in the picture too. Necessary 217. Talking about numbers and hats. I don't know what... I guess... Diana, you know that Necessary Truth is a psychic medium, okay? So if she's sensing things, please take note of it in the chat right there. I'm going to start to wrap things up. I'm going to clear the cards here, and then we're going to wish everybody a wonderful evening and a blessed day and a good start to the Aries new moon, including the eclipse. So I'm going to shuffle this up. And if Jeffrey's still here, feel free to get in touch with me and we'll set you up for something during the week, okay? I'm just going to clear the cards here. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to get out of here really quick, and I'm going to bid you all good night and farewell. How am I going to do this tonight? I think I'm going to want you to be oh so happy. I'm going to play one of my songs. It's called Taste Your Dreams. Just jump in, go wild, okay? It's like a little white reggae song, you know? Imagine I've got a really cool Bob Marley type reggae band, and they like me, they like my songs, and this sounds like a little bit of a reggae feel. So use your imagination, people, okay? Please use your imagination. All I'm doing is providing a little bit of guitar and some words and a tune and a beat, but please fill it out in your brains, okay? In your hearts. It sounds like this.
Okay.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
If you wish for a simple miracle,
Do 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 do.
if you wish you can have one right away,
Do 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 do.
all you need is some faith, is the will.
Do 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 do.
Ask for it and it will come to you today. I want you to be oh so happy. I want you to be your higher self. Yeah. I want you to live and die laughing. Taste your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way. Yeah, yeah.
La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Do 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 do. La da 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 da. La da ba da ba 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 ba.
And if you wish to be in a state of grace, ask for it and it will meet you face to face. And if you wish, if you dare to dream, you will find that it's easier than it seems. Hey, hey, I want you to be oh so happy. I want you to be your higher self. Yeah, I want you to live and die laughing. Taste your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way. Yeah. Oh. La da 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 da. your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way. Taste your dreams
Okay, I will.
Taste your dreams today.
Okay. Oh, thank you. For the encore, what am I going to play for you? I feel like I might do the bounce. Just to go berserk. Because it's an Aries song. Okay? It's very much about... I mean, I can't tell you how old this song is, but, you know, it makes me very sentimental. Please listen to the lyrics. It's a worldwide global song, and you've heard it before. It's called The Bounce. Let's bounce. It's a type of dance where you keep your arms and shoulders and hands very, very tight to your side, and you bounce up and down on your toes. It's a stupid dance, but anyway, it's a dance. Here it goes. It sounds like this.
This is called The Bounce. Tokyo, even in old Moscow, in some parts of Trinidad, I remember the good times I had, all along the Great Wall of China, on the decks of ocean liners, with the Incas up in the Andes, way out in Los Angeles. Let's bounce, let's bounce, let's bounce, let's bounce. I smoked powwow with Geronimo. I've been downtown with nowhere to go. I made peace between the West and East, and I've met Beauty and the Beast. I swam around the great equator. I started out as Cinder the Layer. I've been out to both of the poles, and I know where you don't go to roll. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. Okay, we got the words.
Awesome.
We got the lyrics.
Oh my God. Now that is a hit record, people. That's what you call a hit record. Now you got me going. Oh, man. Okay, all right. Let's have a look. So, what's going on? All right, well, I hope you got that one. So, I don't know. That's probably the shortest song I can. I'm just gonna wrap out very gently. Okay. Oh, what about this one? I am guided, I am protected. This is all kind of spiritual, you know. No, I'm just going to, sorry, excuse me, I'm just going to get out of here. Okay. All right, so let's have a look. What are we doing? What am I doing here?